After losing track of his wife and son, this National Guard found the unexpected behind a wooden dresser. But before we start, please make sure to subscribe to m&rtv and hit the bell so you never miss any upload from us. Also, leave a like right now. There is a saying, you should never judge a book by its cover. Whoever said it must have seen life from a very close angle. This story of a family who looked very different from the outside changed everything when the truth was out in the open. No one could have thought that something this big was cooking inside the family. The family closed all the doors to not let any smell out, but little they knew their entire life about took a sharp turn. Everybody was worried about the son who went missing for 2 years and was found in a very strange place that brought about a grave truth that the family tried hard to hide from the world. Shannon Wilfong and Michael Chekevdia were living happily as a couple, fulfilling each other's dreams. Just like every relationship in this world, where a couple experiences ups and downs in their lives, Shannon and Michael were experiencing the same problems. Things weren't that bad as they were still trying to make their marriage work. Deep inside, they loved each other, but sometimes, because of the negativity, love fades away in the relationship, but still they were together and moving forward in their lives for the next stage of the marriage. Shannon and Michael thought of moving to a next step, where they were all ready to have a child in their lives. In 2002, Shannon gave birth to a baby boy, and both of them were happy to receive the new ray of light that they thought would make all the difference in their lives. Soon, things didn't go as planned. The problem in their married lives started to grow even more. Eventually, it happened from which they were running. Both Shannon and Michael decided to take a divorce. Rather than fighting all the time in front of their son, it would be better to get separated so that they could provide a parenting their son needed. Michael loved his son more than anything in this world. He wanted to give him everything he wished for. But why this mishappening took place in their lives that astonished everyone around them? What made the family take this shocking step? Michael has been working in the National Guard since 1982. He was posted in West Frankfort, which was very close to his hometown Royalton, Illinois. Soon he was ordered to move to Iraq as his new posting, and this was when his son just came into the world. He was left heartbroken because he wouldn't be able to see his child grow up. Still, he has to go because of the duty he has on his shoulder, other than being a father to a child. Little did he know his position in Iraq would change his son's life, and he would not be found for 2 years. Soon after his son was born, Michael was posted to Iraq. While in Iraq, all he had with him was some good memories of his son sleeping in his arms and a photograph in his wallet, which he always saw before sleeping that he didn't do that often for an obvious reason. He tried his best to stay in touch with his loving son through letters and phone calls. He was counting his days in Iraq, waiting for his posting to get over so that he could see his son again, but he wouldn't have imagined the situation he would be in when he went back home. In 2004, Michael's duty was finally over and he was headed back to his son. He couldn't believe that his son, Ricky, has grown so much. He looked just like him. Ricky was very happy to see his father back home. And now he could do everything his other friends did with their dad. Ricky loved spending his time with his dad, and soon this started bothering Shannon, and she decided to do this to Michael. Both Shannon and Michael got the custody of the child, even though they got separated to each other. But Shannon started getting jealous of the fact that Ricky enjoyed his father's company more than hers. It was very natural for a kid to spend most of his time with his father, who was not present for several years. Shannon started to cause a problem for Michael and refused to let him see Ricky. Things became worse when the matter landed in the court. Little Ricky's life soon turned into a nightmare. Michael couldn't believe the way Shannon was treating, and even on asking about, she didn't say much. Michael was getting impatient of waiting for his kid, but Shannon didn't bring Ricky to him. Michael kept calling her, but there was no answer from her side, and after giving it much thought, he took a decision to take it to the court. He was shocked to see what happened next on the day of the hearing. His world was shaken. Even after convincing Shannon several times, she didn't allow Michael to see Ricky, even though they signed the custody agreement. Based on the agreement, Michael took the matter to the court in 2007. He was eagerly waiting for Ricky because he'll be arriving soon with his mother to the court. But sadly, Shannon didn't come to the court that day. The judge took notice of that and allowed Michael temporary custody of Ricky. But where is Ricky? Michael found that there were no signs of Ricky and Shannon. Where did they go? Michael couldn't think straight and was in tears. He inquired Shannon's neighbor about their whereabouts, but even the neighbors didn't know anything about Shannon. One of the neighbors told Michael that she hasn't seen Shannon for a couple of days, which isn't like her, because she could be seen in the evening playing with her son in the park. The neighbor goes for her evening walk. Something hit Michael. Michael checked his watch, which showed 17:24 p.m., and he thought, what if she took Ricky to the park? He asked the neighbor about the park, and she told him about the route. Michael didn't wait for even a second, started his car, and went straight to the park. The park was big, but that didn't matter to him because he could find his son even in closed eyes. Michael saw this woman who looked like Shannon and was happy to see her. He went up to her to ask about the absence and was shocked to see that this woman wasn't Shannon. Then where were they? On November 2007, the police listed Shannon and Ricky in the missing person list. The police even issued a warrant in the name of Shannon because it seemed like she ran away with Ricky to escape the court and Michael. Soon the police started to smell something fishy in the case. There were 4 different stories in this case, and police couldn't decide on which was the real one. In no time, the whole story surfaced in front of the authority. If you really want to know about a family, meet the neighbors before you go through their garbage. The police did the same and met a few of Shannon's neighbors. Some of the neighbors said that they saw Shannon the day before she and Ricky went missing, and others said they hadn't seen both of them for over a week. The police were really confused, but didn't jump to any conclusion and met Shannon's mother next. What she told the police made the mystery behind the disappearance of Shannon and Ricky something else entirely. What did she tell the police? The police were shocked to see Michael sitting outside waiting for someone to talk to him. The police personnel who was in charge of the investigation called Michael inside his office to inquire about his visit. Michael told him all the problems he faced with Shannon, who suddenly became very secretive. What was the reason behind her secrecy? The police needed to solve the missing case of Shannon and Ricky. Will they be able to do that? The police met some of Shannon's friends to know more about her. One of her friends told them that she was here with Ricky. The police were shocked to hear the new information, but the new evidence became worthless when she told that Shannon used to come to meet her very often, as both of them have kids with the same age, and they get along very well. The fact was that she wasn't even aware of the fact that Shannon and Ricky have been missing for months, and the police have no hard clue to follow. Police found out that Shannon only visited this woman and no other friends of hers. Why is that? What made Shannon visit her very often? Police already had 3 versions regarding Shannon and Ricky's disappearance, but what Shannon's mother told them pointed everything towards Michael. The police started seeing Michael in a very different angle. All of a sudden, he became the center of everything. The last time they saw him, he was looking very pale and in some other world, but was that all an act to fool the police? Diane Dobbs, the mother of Shannon, told that Michael wasn't a good father as he abused Ricky. Because of the abuse, Shannon didn't allow Michael to meet the kid, even when he was allowed, but there was no true evidence of such abuse. Diane was convinced that Shannon took Ricky somewhere away from Michael where he'd be safe. Diane didn't leave any stone unturned to ruin Michael's reputation. Michael and Diane didn't live that far from each other, and he soon found out that she had made some posters that she placed in front of her house, telling the world about Michael's true face. She even distributed flyers at Michael's church and in the neighborhood he lived. Soon everybody started blaming Michael behind Shannon and Ricky's disappearance. Even so, where are Shannon and Ricky? Michael was suspicious of Diane, who kept trying to blame Michael for the doings of which no evidence was present. The police were shocked to see how everything turned in the investigation. Michael denied every accusation Diane made on him and said he loves his son and could never do such a horrible thing to his son. The more Diane assassinated his character, the more sure he became of the fact that she knows something and hiding it from the police. Is she speaking the truth? Or was there something she knew about Shannon and Ricky's disappearance? Soon the police found new evidence, and everyone was shocked by the turn of events. Michael pleaded with the police to search Diane's house because he felt that she was hiding something, but the police didn't find anything inside the house that could help them in finding Shannon and Ricky. They searched every corner of the house, but nothing came out to fit. For 2 years, Michael searched for Shannon and Ricky, and it was 2009. The case was finally solved. You wouldn't believe where they found Shannon and Ricky. The police got a tip which led them to search Diana's house once again. They already did the house search and every inch of it, but didn't find anything. But this time it was different. The police noted a wooden dresser that was hiding something behind it, and when they pushed it, everything was clear. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Behind a wooden dresser, there was an opening that looked like an entry to some 12 feet long, 5 feet wide, and almost 4 feet tall small room. The police entered the room and found Shannon and Ricky sitting on a bed. Now everything made sense. Diane had hidden Shannon and Ricky in this room for over 2 years. The police took the kid and moved him inside the house, and what Ricky told them was very sad. Michael said that every time he passed Diane's house to see if she would talk to him about his son and wife, she did the opposite. He said the windows of Dobbs' home were blocked off by drawn shades or other items, presumably to prevent anyone from peeking inside. Michael couldn't believe his luck that his loving son was just 3 miles away from him for 2 years, and still he didn't do anything about that. But it wasn't his fault. Who could have ever thought that Ricky's grandmother could do such a thing just because her daughter wanted full custody of the son? Michael said, 2 years. You have no idea. I've lost sleep. I've lost weight. I've gained weight. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. In the official statement given by the Sergeant Stan Diggs of the Illinois Police Department, we let him out of the patrol car and he ran around as he'd never seen outdoors. He said further that it was really sad to see a child who should be out playing and enjoying was living inside a small room for 2 years. The cops were determined to give Ricky and Michael the life they lost for 2 years. Soon, Shannon was taken to the police station for further processing and was charged with child abduction. Her mother, Diane, was also charged with aiding and abetting. Diane was out on bail and started telling the world that Ricky actually enjoyed his 2 years, but the evidence didn't prove a single word she said. Diane's neighbors were interviewed and they told that they never saw Ricky playing outside even once. Though Ricky lived an isolated life for 2 years, he was improving with each passing day. Sergeant Diggs said, for someone who's been isolated in that house with no other outside beings, he is a very social, very polite, very talkative little boy. On one hand, Ricky and Michael were enjoying their new life. Things were not looking good for Shannon and Diane. Diane appeared on the show called Good Morning America, and after that, she was again arrested. Both Shannon and Diane faced legal charges, and Ricky was asked to shift with Michael's relative until the case is done. It was in 2011 when Shannon confessed for the crime she committed and was fined for $1,500 with 2 months probation period. Finally, Michael was cleared from all the charges. Before Michael got full custody of Ricky, who was sent to child welfare for his proper examination, he was isolated for 2 years and the child welfare needed to check if he's ready for this new life, on which Michael said, I have seen him at a distance and he looks well. He could look better. He's eating, he's sleeping, he's socializing very well. He added further, and when they tell me that it's time, I'll go. Michael trusted the system, but being a father who didn't see his son grow as he was in Iraq had to wait for some more time to actually see and hold his son in his arms. When he was back from Iraq, even though he didn't get to meet his son for long, and then this mishappening took place in their lives and left everybody devastated. Michael said, it's hard to sit back and watch things happen when you're used to making things happen. He added further, but I just bided my time and let the system work. Michael received full custody of Ricky, and the case was finally solved once and for all. He soon retired from the National Guard and was now ready to take the duty of a single father. He promised himself to give Ricky the life he deserves. Little Ricky, who has already suffered this much, that too in his little age, deserved everything this world has to offer him. It was found that Ricky was never allowed to leave his grandmother's home for even a medical emergency. He didn't go to school or met anyone who came to meet with Diane. He was asked to stay quiet inside the room if anyone ever visited the house. His room was covered from everywhere and there was no natural light from the outside because his grandmother told that people could see if there was any window in the room, which was the size of a washing machine. Today, Michael and Ricky are living a peaceful life. He is providing everything Ricky asks for. Michael now has the only goal that is not letting Ricky fall in the same hell he lived for 2 years, and making sure he lives his life at the fullest. Even neighbors are happy to see little Ricky going to school and playing with other kids. Because of the gap he had in his life while growing up, he has a lot of difficulties in socializing with other kids. In school, even the teachers know about the happening that took place in his life, and they try their best to make things easy for him. He also started eating with the other kids now and gets along with the other kids. He is really showing great progress in everything and is doing good in school. Ricky has grown into an amazing young man who has competed in swimming and rock climbing events. He had difficulties in adjusting his life, but today he is doing really great, and Michael is a proud father who is watching his son do some great things in life. Ricky believes in moving on in life, and letting go of the past is what he believes in the most. We hope they stay like this forever.